For those of you who are purists when it comes to YouTube video watching, you'll be happy to know that I'm spending a lot of time the last couple of days trying to improve my image. We'll see if any of it works. It should start showing up by tomorrow morning or maybe Saturday at the latest. It seems as if every single technology I was using was on the lowest possible resolution. Combining all of that makes me kind of faded. Anyway, we'll see what happens. Today, we're going to work on the semi-truck. We're going to take a very conservative, because you know that's how I am, always conservative. I'm going to take a conservative look at the future revenues and profit streams of the Tesla semi-truck all the way through 2030. First, we're going to review a current understanding of the plan. What's the semi's planned rollout? And then at the end, I'll give you an update on today's stock market action mid-session. Well, just because, okay? So if you like this kind of content where I give you my projections of future revenues and future profits, et cetera, you know I've done a whole bunch of those videos over the last week on each of the divisions of Tesla. And those are all available. Just go back on YouTube and take a look. And then I'll be doing another couple of these in the next couple of days, finishing up with a very big surprise about all this that I'm going to do, I think, on Sunday morning. And then on Tuesday, the final, where you're going to get to see the entire look at the entire company, all the revenues up through 2024 only, and eventually I'll do 2025, but for now it'll be 2023, the rest of 2023, plus all of 2024, showing revenues and the eventual effect on the stock price. If you'd like to make sure that you're notified of all those things, please hit the notify button. And of course, in order to do that, you do need to subscribe first. And Patreon, I'm putting all the spreadsheets up on Patreon as well, so you can take a look if you'd like to at some point. All right, we both know, you and I know, that Elon Musk has a reputation for being a bit late on some of his plans. Yeah, the Roadster probably gets the top of the list on that in terms of being delayed. And obviously FSD, that's a slightly different story, of course, in that FSD is a completely new thing. And according to Elon, the hardest thing ever tried to be accomplished by man. Harder than the number one, harder than building Hoover Dam. It's not so shocking that the FSD would be taking a lot longer than expected. But of course, the semi-truck is on that list as well. And sadly, the ramp has been put off again. Elon had earlier stated that the Sparks facility up in Reno, that facility, that gigafactory, the very first gigafactory, was going to be built out. An additional section was going to be added on. And when that was completed, they would be able to build 40,000 semi-trucks a year, actually 40,000 in 2024. And also at the same time, build 500 gigs of 4680s. Now, not right away, but over time. Starting up to 100 gigs, and then eventually he said probably up to 500 gigs. Anyway, those two things would happen up in Reno, or Sparks, depending on how you like to play it. So that's been postponed now. That's been postponed to late 2024. That's at least with regard to the trucks. And I don't know, but he didn't say anything about the battery, so I'm not sure if that's being postponed as well. But what he said was the trucks are being postponed until late 2024 due to a shortage of batteries. Well, I'm going to assume that, I've not caught Elon lying, and so I'm going to assume that that is the main reason, but it actually creates more questions than answers, because why are they running out of batteries? Now, he said earlier, everybody said they got plenty of batteries, but that may not mean they got plenty of 4680 batteries, as they're going to be ramping up the Cybertruck, and they're using them in Model Ys, and maybe they're just not making enough to do all of that in the Semi also in 2024 early, or maybe the ramp of the 4680s is a bit slower, or at least down at the bottom of their expectations, because it seems like they can't really be far behind. They've just announced that they've leased another building, 210,000 square feet, up in the Fremont area to also build more 4680s. So why would you be adding on more space there for 4680s, saying you're going to make them in Reno, in addition to the additional amounts that they're planning to make in Austin, if you're behind, if you're having problems with the 4680. So I don't think they're behind on 4680s, or at least not measurably behind, but it is an odd situation where they're now behind with regard to the semi because of a shortage of batteries. It could also be that the Reno facility was going to be where they were going to make those batteries, and that's obviously taking longer to start than they expected because they haven't turned over the first shovel of dirt yet. If they started tomorrow, it's going to be second half of 2024 before they start making anything in that new build out. Now, I've also speculated that because they've stopped making the mega packs in that Sparks facility, they might have freed up some space to start the 4680 line or to start the semi line. But what do I know? We don't know anything. Okay. So that's what I know. I'm pushing back my estimates, my overall estimates on semi for a year. And if you follow me on this channel, or if you've seen my previous work on the semi, you know that I'm the Lone Ranger. I am the Lone Ranger in the Tesla community in saying that I believe that Tesla will eventually make 1 million semis per year. Now, Brian Wong, who's commonly on my channel, he believes they'll make more than 1 million. He's kind of seems to be more agreeing with me now that 1 million might be the number. But Brian thought, why not make more? You're going to have such a lead in the semi. Why not go for a bigger part of the TAM? The United States only uses 250 to 350,000 semis a year, but worldwide, the TAM on what they call large vehicles is 4 million units per year. Large trucks is 4 million units per year. So I do expect that Tesla will attempt to work towards 25% market share, which is how I come to my million number. This is pure speculation. Elon has never said it. Nobody in the executive team has ever said it, that they have a goal of 1 million. They haven't given a goal of any number, unlike the 20 million cars or, you know, the 1 terawatt hour of energy storage. We haven't had any number with regard to the semi-truck. They did on the in the Master Plan 3, they did mention, they did show a picture of the semi-truck, and they did throw some numbers out there, but I don't see that as an actual projection of Tesla's plan, rather as a worldwide plan. So that was a tease. That's the best we have. That's all I can give you for now. So let's share the screen to go into the details here of what I'm expecting. Just a second here. All right, and everybody see the screen? All right, here we go. So top line is semi-truck. Excuse me so much. The top line is the semi-truck production in thousands. The second line is revenues. I'm expecting the trucks to sell for $300,000 a piece. Pepsi said they're paying $250,000. I think that had to do with legacy orders that had been placed, and that's what they negotiated out. I'm saying they're probably going to be $300,000 a piece. Now, some models, some versions might be less, some models and versions might be more, but I'm saying 300,000. I'm saying the profit on that will be 100,000 per 30% profit. That gives the profit per share is the next line, and then the contribution to the share price on the bottom line. So in 2023, I'm now saying they'll still make 1,000 units. So they're making 100 here and 100 there. I'm saying they'll continue to build some units this year by hand, and they'll ship those out. I could be wrong. This could be completely wrong. They have not said, and there's no evidence to give me anything other than pull it out of the air, just so you know. I want to be clear on that. In 2024, I'm saying they go to 5,000. He's saying late 2024, so I'm saying the ramp will start off with maybe, 500 in August or September, and then ramping. 5,000, it would maybe be a little bit strong, and then going to 40,000 in 2025. Now, one of the things that I'm commonly reiterating right now on these spreadsheets is it doesn't matter a lot in terms of most of our expectations and our hopes and our dreams with regard to Tesla stock. Why do I say that? Well, if they get to 100,000 of these trucks in 2027 instead of 2026. Yeah, it's a year longer, but the stock is eventually going to reflect this. I'm hoping that these will be the numbers. I put 2025 at 40,000, and that was Elon's number for 2024. But if they're going to start ramping in 2024 now, then 40,000 should be a slam dunk in 2025. Now, from there, it's all speculation. There is nothing been stated by Tesla. I'm saying 2026, 100,000. That will include possibly a second location, maybe in Shanghai or someplace in China. 250,000 in 27. That might include a new location, say in Berlin or someplace in Europe. Going to 450 in 2028. That would assume an expansion of the U.S. facility, and that could have been taking place all along here also. So we could be seeing the expansion of the U.S. production capacity also during that time. And then in 2029 to 600,000, 2030 to 750, and then I don't have 2031. That's when we would finally hit 1 million. Now then the revenue line, you're just multiplying times 300,000. So you get to 1.5 billion in 2024 and then to 12 billion in 2025. You can see how quickly it turns into real money, 30 billion in 2026, eventually to 225 billion in 2030. Profit per share at 100,000. You can see again in 2025, it's already big money. It's already 3.6 billion. And then if you go to the next line, profit per share, it's already at $1. And if you use a 50 multiple, that would mean it's already contributing over $50 a share to the price in 2025. Well, you know that nobody is figuring that in. If they're not figuring in robots and they're not figuring in the energy and they're not figuring in the IRA, Inflation Reduction Act, if they're not figuring in those things, they're certainly not figuring in the semi, which keeps getting pushed back and pushed back and pushed back. So this is going to be a nice cream on the top of the cake. This is going to be $132 a share in 2026. So it's real money eventually. So ultimately, if I'm right and it's 750,000 in 2030, you're looking at a share contribution of $992 a share. So again, I don't know if this is correct. If it's not correct, we will certainly find out someday if this is what we've got coming. I'm going to now stop sharing the screen and go back to the full thing here. All right, I promised you that at the end, I would give you the stock update. So I had to leave my phone on. And of course, that meant that you got to hear the phone ring there just a little bit. Well, Tesla is almost exactly at zero as I'm recording this. It's just under 12 o'clock and we're at 15 cents up. It's been up and down and all around, but it has been staying pretty much even. And that is against a market that's strongly up. So surprised that the market is strongly up, surprised that the NASDAQ is up 184 points at this point, not surprised that Tesla is even today. That is exactly what I predicted, although I also predicted the NASDAQ would be even kind of in the middle. So that was a big surprise to me. Tesla has had a couple of pieces of news today that were not favorable. I talked about those in a video this morning, if you want to go back and take a look, but I don't think those are really affecting it. I think this is pure profit taking. We've had a very large run up. I'm actually a little surprised that it's positive. We might end up a little more positive based on kind of the trend for the day. But I think, big run. Tesla has completely decoupled from the rest of the market at this point. So the decoupling today is not that shocking. So you may want to take a look. Yesterday, I did a similar spreadsheet to the spreadsheet that I just showed you. I did this on Optimus yesterday. So there might be a card in the corner. I'm going to try to put a card in the corner. And so if this has been useful, if this has been helpful, if you liked it, if you're entertained, please hit the like button, hit subscribe, and then hit notify if you want to be sure that and I've got an interview in just a little while with Larry Goldberg again. He's going to be talking about some fun stuff about how he sees the market playing out in the next weeks and months. And then I've got all these additional financial ones coming up in addition to my morning show. You know I have this morning show now where I talk about all things Tesla, but all things financial, and make my predictions and prognostications with regard to the market that day. And those come out about 7:10 in the morning, but if you hit notify, you can get a notification every day. And then Patreon, where I put up all these spreadsheets so you can take a look, spend more time with them. That's all I got for you right now. It's been great talking to you.